in the water. Now, why are we getting all of these rip currents from a storm that's way out to sea? Well, we've told you all week about this huge wave field, right? This huge wave field. This is our current forecast. You can see the forecast of 50 feet. We've been advertising 50 feet all week in these live streams. What's interesting here is we now have data from inside of the storm that verifies that it's 50 feet. So we have, you've heard of drones. We also have these things called, these instruments called sail drones. So not to make it too simple, but it's basically an unmanned boat that we can drive into the storm, just like a drone, except it floats on the water. And this is an image taken earlier. If you've ever wondered what it's like, you will get a lot of questions. What is it like inside a hurricane? Well, this is a snapshot from that sail drone earlier today inside the storm. But more importantly, it's collecting information for us to help the forecast. And it showed a peak sea of 50 feet. That is what is creating all that rip current potential along the East Coast of the United States as those waves propagate towards the coastline. Now, I know a lot of you are tuning in, wanting to update on the system in the Southeast Caribbean Sea. So it's over here. We're going to zoom in a second. This system, so this hatched area is showing you where a formation to a tropical depression or tropical storm could occur over the next several days. And the red denotes that there's a high probability that it become a tropical depression or tropical storm as it moves off to the west-northwest through the Central Caribbean Sea. There's been a lot of speculation about what this system might do if it were to get into the Gulf of Mexico, and it's too soon. It's too soon to speculate out that far in time, and I'm going to explain that to you in a second. But what we can say is that conditions look favorable for this system to develop into a tropical storm as it moves off on the west-northwest over the Central Caribbean Sea, and conditions look favorable for it potentially becoming a hurricane here in the Northwest Caribbean Sea. That's as far as we can go at this point. There's a lot of land interaction here. We don't know how that land may or may not impact the storm in its ultimate track. So be careful about speculating beyond this point. There's a lot of uncertainty, and I'm going to explain why here in a second. First, let me show you where the image, where the system is here in the big board. It's way down here. And if this feels like it's far south, it is. This is right along the coast of South America. There's Fiona way up there. So it's way down here over the Southeast Caribbean Sea. And I'm going to take a walk over here to the visible shot so you can see what's happening, or rather what's not happening. And you can see that while a low-level circulation is trying to form, it's not there yet. And why is this important? Why is this so important to focus? Because the predictability of systems that haven't formed yet is very, very low. And I want to emphasize that because that's why we can't say too much about potential impacts in the Gulf of Mexico, because until this system actually forms and becomes a well-defined named system, the ability of models, the ability of humans to predict where it will go is just really, really, really low. So I want to caution against speculation too far down the road. And remember to follow reliable, credible sources like the National Hurricane Center for your updated information. So that is it from the Hurricane Center with your 11:30 a.m. update. We'll be right back here tomorrow to provide you with the latest information as this system starts to unfold.